The small caves in the hills on the southern side of the Harz, particularly in the Hohenstein region, deserve our special attention. Why? Mostly because they are so low that adult humans must crawl to enter, yet the site appears suitable for housing large communities. According to local folklore, these were once inhabited by dwarfs, and they are still known today as dwerglöcher, dwarf holes. The departure of the dwarfs. Once upon a time, the dwarfs had two kingdoms between Walkenried and Neuhof in the Hohenstein region. A farmer in that area noticed that his crops were being robbed every night. Despite much effort, he could not ascertain who the offender was. At last, following the advice of a wise woman, Weisse he went to his pea field at nightfall and struck the air with a thin rod. Before long, several dwarfs appeared in front of him. He had struck off their invisible fog caps. The trembling dwarfs knelt down before him. He came to recognize the people who had been robbing the fields of all the landowners in the region. However, he also learned that they were forced to steal crops only because they were hungry. The story of the captured dwarfs created a great deal of uproar throughout the entire region. The dwarf people finally sent a messenger to the villagers offering a favor for their release. They wished to leave the country forever. But the nature of the condition set created a new dispute. The inhabitants did not want to let the dwarfs leave with their collected and hidden treasures. On the other hand, the dwarf people did not want to be observed during their departure. Finally, it was agreed that the dwarfs would build a narrow bridge at Neuhof and place a large pot there. Each one of them would deposit a portion of his possessions as a tax into the container. Furthermore, none of the inhabitants of the country was to watch them crossing the bridge. The departure of the dwarfs was organized according to the agreement. However, a good number of curious villagers had hidden themselves under the bridge. They wanted to ensure that, even if looking at the departing dwarfs was forbidden, they would at least hear the sound of the coaches. For many hours, they heard the little people passing over the bridge, sounding like a very large herd of sheep. Since that last major emigration, any trace of the dwarfs has rarely been found in the region. We have heard from our grandfathers that a few, who still resided in mountain caves, would sometimes steal babies from the country dwellers' houses, exchanging them for changelings.